Hello luxury watch lovers! In this channel, I cover the background, fundamental design features, and things to consider before buying your watch. If you have a luxury watch that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. In today's video, we're going to cover the Orient Kamasu. The Orient Kamasu is proof that a low price does not have to mean low quality or poor performance. If you're looking for a reliable dive watch on a budget, look no further than the Orient Kamasu collection. Let's look at its features and functions in more detail. Since its inception in the world of horology, Orient has earned a reputation for producing high-quality, well-designed timepieces. All of their timepieces are designed to pay homage to Japan's traditions and values. When you put on a Japanese watch, it's not just to complete your latest fashionable ensemble. Rather, as with the Orient Kamasu Red and Orient Kamasu Green models, you are actually wearing a piece of the country's cutting-edge technology. Orient watches are frequently mistaken for, and even compared to, Seiko watches because they are both well-known Japanese brands. These two well-known watchmaking brands each have their own unique expertise in craftsmanship and watchmaking inspirations. Orient and Seiko are both part of the Seiko group, but they can still be considered two separate brands because their operations and productions are so different. The barracuda is a distinctive sea creature that inspired the Kamasu collection. Barracudas are large, fearsome fish that are known for their strength and curiosity. Its long and thin body allows it to move quickly, up to 36 miles per hour, which converts to 58 kilometers per hour. Despite its terrifying appearance, the barracuda is a highly sought-after animal among professional divers all over the world. The sharp triangular indices and handset of the Orient Kamasu mimic the fish's features, particularly the teeth, which are mimicked by the sharp triangular indices and handset of the Kamasu. The Orient Kamasu has thrived among the thousands of dive watches on the market since its release in 2019. This is owing to its superior components, robust functions, and significantly lower prices when compared to other brands. The Kamasu's wearability is one of its most notable features. The smoothness of the watch against the wrist is something that most users can't deny. Its solid construction with polished surfaces and no sharp edges gives the impression of being extremely well made. One of the improvements made by Orient with the Kamasu is that it addresses issues with older Orient watches such as hand winding, hacking movement, and poor hand functions. Orient has equipped the Kamasu with a new automatic caliber to address these flaws. The Orient Kamasu Red, reference RAAA0003 R19A, the Orient Kamasu Green, reference RAAA0004E19A, and the Orient Kamasu Blue, reference RAAA0006L19A, are among the Orient Kamasu variants that use this caliber. The Orient Kamasu versus the Seiko SKX. The Kamasu is objectively superior because it is a much newer model. It is made of high-quality materials and comes at a reasonable price. The Kamasu would win hands down if all dive watch purchases were made with pure rationality as the primary decision-making driver. The Seiko SKX appeal to a wide range of people for a variety of reasons. They have a long, illustrious history that includes military, cultural, and practical applications. The SKX is a great conversation starter because it looks great and every watch collector knows what it is. you can bask in the SKX's legend and feel the stares of onlookers as they marvel at its timeless aesthetic, which allows it to compete with modern designs. Let us consider comparing two titans from different industries: BMW versus Mercedes, Nike versus Adidas, and Android versus iPhone are just a few examples. There will be supporters who swear by one and curse the other, who have been loyal to a brand for a very long time and will defend it to the death. And it's impossible to reason with brand loyalty like that. Maybe you already have a preference, or maybe you're still undecided. In any case, both the Kamasu and the SKX are excellent choices. But if we had to choose one, we're leaning more towards the Kamasu. Let's take a look at its design features. The Orient Kamasu has a case diameter of 41.8 millimeters and a thickness of 12.8 millimeters. We're looking at a lug-to-lug distance of 46.8 millimeters and a lug width of 22 millimeters. It has a stainless steel case material with a sapphire crystal that can withstand a water resistance of up to 200 meters, making it an ideal diver watch. This watch has a 40-hour power reserve, and this is thanks to its F6922 Japanese automatic movement. It has a reasonable budget, so you can expect to pay about $300 for this watch. Here are 5 things to consider before buying the Orient Kamasu. Starting with number 1, the case. The case is made of corrosion-resistant stainless steel with a brushed top and well-polished sides. Stainless steel is not only anti-corrosive, but it is also impact-resistant and can withstand being knocked around by accident, which is especially useful in everyday life. Because of its toughness, the Orient Kamasu is ideal for people who live an active and outdoorsy lifestyle. The Orient Kamasu has a case diameter of 42 millimeters, but it wears more like a 39 or 40 millimeter watch, thanks to its short lug-to-lug distance. Dive watches are typically larger to aid diving, but when comparing the Kamasu to a popular everyday model, the difference in size is negligible. With how snug it can fit on a 6.5-inch wrist, you can easily fool someone into thinking it's a 40mm piece. Orient has focused on an aspect of watch design that many brands have not prioritized in recent years through a combination of wearable and balanced proportions. When looking at the Kamasu from the side, you can see how this is accomplished. The lugs are curved and tuck without going below the bottom of the screw-down case back. The lugs have a brushed finish that gradually fades into the case's polished sides. Moving on to number 2, the bracelet. The stainless steel bracelet on the Orient Kamasu features a fold-over safety clasp, a double push-button release stamped with the Orient logo, and folded end links. Now, despite this, the bracelet's pins squeak a lot. You'd think that there was a hamster or mouse nearby if you didn't know any better. The bracelet, on the other hand, keeps the Kamasu case in place and has 4 micro adjustment options for a better fit. A simple push pin system can be used to remove the links. Hopping across to number 3, the dial. The dial of any dive watch is the focal point, and the Kamasu has one of the most dynamic dials we've seen on a dive watch. The Kamasu's color range is truly impressive. It comes in a variety of colors, but one constant is that the dial will have a subtle gradient that provides the dynamism mentioned earlier. The dial will provide a subdued, muted color during the winter months or at night, whereas the gradient will display its colors more vibrantly during the summer months or during the day. Now, depending on which version you are wearing, you will see a different shade of black, blue, green, red, or anywhere within that sliding scale when you are looking down at your watch. Wait until you see it at night if you think this thing shines during the day. The lume is bright and visible as expected. The hands, dial, and bezel pip have been lavished with what appears to be the same type of lume used in Seiko watches. Seeing the watch light up in the dark brings back memories of waving a glow stick in the dark as a kid. Except this time it's a sleek dive watch. Allow the dial's surrounding elements such as the hands, indices, and applied logo to draw your attention away from the dial. It's difficult because the sunburst dial's refraction of light is quite beautiful. The red tip on the second hand may appear out of place at first, but it complements the red on the date wheel and the shield part of the Orient motif on Sundays. And onto number 4, the bezel. The Kamasu also includes a 120-click unidirectional bezel with deeply grooved notches on the bezel edge, which rotates smoothly and easily. The bezel has a small amount of play, but it's nothing to be concerned about. The bezel action provides a satisfying click when interacting with it. We value the tactile feedback it provides because knowing how much time is being tracked is critical information. Furthermore, the markers and lettering on the bezel are superior to those found on the Orient Ray 2 and Mako 2 respectively. And last but not least, number 5, the movement. The F6922 caliber automatic movement is used in the Kamasu, and it has the much desired hand winding and hacking functionality. The existence of this functionality is greatly appreciated, even if the screw-down crown does not thread nicely and winding the mainspring is not a particularly exciting event. It's reassuring to know that you can prepare the mainspring at the start of the day and the watch will run for the rest of the day. When the mainspring relaxes in some watches, you'll have to shake your wrist to reactivate it. Those who value precision will appreciate the fact that the F6922 allows you to manually sync your Kamasu to the second. Though we don't keep detailed spreadsheets of a timepiece's accuracy, we're glad to see Kamasu is catering to this demographic. If you look at the back of the Kamasu, you'll notice a screw-down caseback with a dolphin motif, which contributes to the watch's 200-meter water resistance rating. When you see an engraving of an aquatic animal on a dive watch, you know it's serious business. The screw-down crown also aids in water resistance. The Kamasu sapphire crystal is something that it can proudly claim as its own. The beautiful sunburst dial will be protected by this crystal from the elements as well as any damaging impacts. And this wraps up my review of the Orient Kamasu. Thank you for watching this video right through till the very end. These videos are truly a labor of love. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know what other watches you think deserve their own video. And remember, time is your greatest asset.